Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's live stream. This is Amy Dean, and I'm so excited to be here with you. Please let me know if you are here in the comments with let's see here, your name, where you are from, and just so you're aware, I am using StreamYard, and so StreamYard does need your permission. And actually, Facebook and StreamYard need your permission in order for me to see your name show up in the comments. So please let me know you're here because otherwise I won't know, unfortunately. So please do say hello, and also let me know if you can hear me okay. That's also very important. You can hear me and see me okay, and then I will be responding to you. This is live, so I want to answer your questions today. I want to get to know you here on our call. So please do let me know you're here when you can. So let me take a look over at the comments. It looks like we have Amber. Hello, good to see you. And it looks like there is Facebook user and Facebook user. So what you can do, unfortunately, that's how it shows up on my end. What you can do is at the very top of the video where you'll see me live, or actually above the live video, there will be a little link. It's streamyard.com/Facebook. You just click that link and it'll let me see you. And awesome. Thanks for letting me know, Sherry. And I know we have several people here. I just unfortunately cannot see who. So what is this? Okay. Hello. So this is a live stream. We are going into what the Akashic records are and how to discover them and exactly how to access them today as well. So if you are excited, let's get going. So what I encourage you to do first is find some time for you. So maybe you need, let's say, a few minutes to yourself, close the door, do whatever you need to take this time out for yourself. And I'm going to just go over a little introduction at first, just to make sure that you know who I am, because some of you are very new to our group. So my name is Amy Dean. I'm a holistic therapist, I'm an ascension coach, and I help empathic women, healers, and service-based practitioners navigate this often tumultuous spiritual awakening journey. And really, my whole goal here is to help you realign with your higher self so you can live an awakened life. So maybe you struggle with anxiety or perfectionism, shame, powerlessness, something of that sort. Or maybe it's just hard navigating how to be an empath. So every single week, our time has changed to Tuesdays. And this is Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going live to teach you this month anyway about the Akashic records. Every month is a different theme. So we're going to dive in. This is our second week into May, and this is the Akashic records subject of what the Akashic records are really all about and how do we access them. So before I get started, though, I definitely want to see if anyone has any questions. Please do post them here in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to be checking the comments periodically as I go through this training. And I love to hear from you. This is really all about community and connection. So that's why I really want to see you show up live, because then I can actually talk with you. And that's my favorite part. So I want to just give you a little context about the Akashic records. So I have been an Akashic records reader and trainer for quite some time. So I've been a reader for almost 10 years now. And this has been just my life's journey, my life's work. And really a huge part of what my purpose is to bring this to you. So what I've discovered through the records is that we all have this innate healing capacity, this ability to transform to the depth of who we are. And really, we all have access to this fifth dimensional space of awareness. However, we don't always know that, do we? So that's what I'm going to go into today, a little bit more about that. So let's start with, for those of you who are brand new here, you might be wondering, well, what are the Akashic records, right? What exactly is this all about? So the Akashic records, it holds all the information of your soul since the very beginning of time. And really these possibilities are completely endless, but I'm going to give you at least a few different ideas of what to expect. So one is you're going to learn exactly what action to take. So let's say you have a big decision to make and you're stuck and you don't know what to do. And as an empath, you might typically get stuck, right? Because we do sometimes have a hard time trusting our intuition because we're picking up so much stuff, right, from the outside. So we can learn, what is the best course of action? What do I do, right? What's the next step? Then we can gain insights on current life situations. So this is, asking about, well, if I do this, then what does this mean, right? And how do I navigate my present life right now? Then you might want to, heal any kind of physical or emotional ailments that are causing you stress right now. You can discover your life purpose in the Akashic records. You can learn about and heal past lives, which, by the way, loved all of the excitement around the post on past lives in our discussion feed. And I saw that many of you believe in past lives. And so the Akashic records can help us discover, what are these past lives and how can we understand them so we can really pull it into our everyday reality here. So there's so much more that we can discover. And one big thing as well is we can heal on to the very depth of our core in the Akashic records. And the reason that is because this etheric space, which lives within you, it is full of unconditional love. And because of that, it has this healing capacity for you to go really, really deep within and actually peel away all of those wounds that have been keeping you from being your full self. So it's very profound and absolutely is possible. And of course, you don't. So, one question I get often is, do I have to be psychic or do I have to be really intuitive to be able to access the Akashic records? And the truth is, you don't, because this is already something that you have access to. And really, it's just about, of course, practicing, right, the skills to go into the Akashic records, which I'll go into a little bit more. But it's for everyone. And so that's why I love this work, is that it's not just for those who are, super clairaudient or clairvoyant or tend to, feel things everywhere they go. It's really for every single person who wants truth, right? So that's what this is all about. So before I go any further, I'm going to check the comments. And good to see you all. Oh, lovely. It's so nice to see all of you. And I cannot see. So when I say see you, I guess I should be a little bit more clear. So I can't see you, but I can see your name and I can see that you are here with me. So, and hello, Vita Mia. Nice to see you. Nice to see all of you. I know we have a few other Facebook users here, but it is, hi, good to see you. And just so you know, there is, if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook, you can just click that link and then Facebook and StreamYard will connect and I will see your name. Otherwise, you're just Facebook user, unfortunately, but it is nice to see you anyhow. So I'm going to dive into, what do you see in the Akashic records? Like, what are we actually doing in there, right? What is actually happening? So I want to paint this picture for you for a moment. And feel free, by the way, I didn't mention this at the beginning, but feel free to take notes as we go along. And one thing to note about the Akashic records are there are these benevolent beings. They have never been human. And they are there to help us not only navigate our Akashic records, but to help us with our soul's purpose, to help us with all the questions we have that we might feel stuck on. And so I'm about to share what those, I guess we'll call them etheric beings for now, what these beings are there for and really who they are so you can understand that. So number one, we have what's called the Lords of the Records. And these are what I call light beings who work on more of a universal level. They're more of like gatekeepers to the Akashic records so that you can't just access anyone's Akashic records, right? Because that would be terrible. We want to have some kind of privacy, right? So that nobody, not anyone can just jump into the records. So the Lords of the Records, they are guarding our records and everyone else's records as well. And they are there to help. They also are there to make sure that we do not receive information that we do not currently need. And so that's another thing, right? We might go into the Akashic records and oftentimes we don't make contact with the Lords of the Records because it's more of like an energy field that these lords, kind of encompass in the records. But when you enter, there's this information that's given to you, and it's the information you need right now. And it's exactly what you need to know in this moment. And sometimes we may agree with that, and sometimes we might not agree with that because we want more information. But it's always for your highest good. Every single time you go into the Akashic records, it's always for your highest good, because this is, so again, this is a fifth dimensional space of love, of awareness, of understanding who you really are. So just keep that in mind, right? There is nothing negative in this space as we go along here. So then we have the masters, and masters are, and these are just labels, right, that we call them. But masters are basically groups of light beings. They've never been human, but they work with you on an individual level. And really, I mean, you can think of it this way. They helped you choose your life plan before you incarnated here. And if you want to think of it this way as well, it's almost as if they have created this soul contract or soul agreement with you, so that you're able to call on them, you're able to get in touch with them if you want to know more about that, and if you get stuck and need some help on your plan. So they are with you for a lifetime, and often many lifetimes. And by the way, this is different than your spirit guides. Your spirit guides don't necessarily exist within the fifth dimensional space. It doesn't mean they can't enter the space, but these masters are not so much personal to you like your spirit guide would be, although you tend to work with the same master over and over. And then we have teachers. So the difference between masters and teachers is teachers have kind of a single purpose, we'll say. It's almost as if they are with you for certain time periods or certain situations in your life. So, for example, maybe you're, buying a new home, and maybe you move a lot. So you might have a teacher that is there for you when you're going through these specific life transitions. And, for other people, it could be, changes in relationships. They might have one teacher that's helping them learn a lesson, a very particular lesson through each relationship. So often teachers are there, you can call upon them as well, but they tend to just come and go in your life because you don't always need them, right, at certain points. And then we can also access our deceased loved ones in the Akashic records. So many psychics go into the records for this reason, so they can access them and get in touch with them and really understand what their message is for you, right? Because often we just want to connect and we want to understand what they're doing on the other side and how they can help us. So, any questions so far? I'm going to check over. Hello, hello. Hi, Mindy. Nice to see you. Nice to see all of you. Thank you for the hearts, by the way. I love that. It's always so much fun to see that over here. So I'm going to dive into a little bit more of the history of the Akashic records before I go into how to access them. So are you familiar with Edgar Cayce? Please let me know in the comments. You can say yes, yes, or no. I have no idea who that is. Please let me know in the comments. I would love to know if you understand the history of Edgar Cayce and the relationship to the Akashic records. So please let me know. Let's see here. Yes, yes, good, good, good. Yes. No questions. Well, good, no questions. Thank you, Julia. And is it the Lords of Karma, Mindy asks, the Masters? Ah, great question there. So it's not quite the Lords of Karma. It's really the Lords of Records, but that's a wonderful question. They're more of just, it's kind of like they hold the space around the records. So I would say that they are more of they're more of just kind of background, right? It's almost like white noise in the background, right? It's like they're just there keeping track of things, but they're not necessarily connected to your, let's say your soul contract or soul agreement, which has these, as you put it, the laws of, or let's see here, karma. So there's karma in your soul's agreement, right? There's a karma of, okay, in this past life, you experienced XYZ. And now in this life, you're choosing to take this next step and reincarnate again. And that would be working with your masters. So hopefully that makes sense, Mindy. If not, please let me know. And let's see. So no, not familiar, if I have that right. Not familiar, Amanda, with Edgar Cayce. Somewhat familiar, Amber. And not familiar. Okay. Very familiar. Oh, you're a member of ARE. That's wonderful, Mindy. That's excellent. So then this little part here will be a little bit of a review for you, but who knows? You might learn something new. So essentially, Edgar Cayce was a Christian mystic and the founder of ARE. And for 43 years of his adult life, Edgar Cayce basically had the ability just to lay down, close his eyes, fold his hands over his stomach, and put himself into this altered state. And really, what he was doing is he was accessing the Akashic records. But what's really interesting about Edgar Cayce, and I just find him so fascinating because the accuracy of his work is just incredible. Right? There's just so much we can find as to his readings and how they actually came true, right? And how these things actually manifested. And so when we talk about Cayce, when we look at this right now, we're saying, okay, how do we know, right? He was accessing the Akashic records. Well, he actually talked about this quite a bit. And he said that sometimes he accesses the subconscious of the person that he's doing a reading for. And other times he's accessing the Akashic records. So he was able to tell the distinction in his readings as to what that looked like and what that felt like. And I'm sure you can imagine, right? The subconscious of a person is very different than let's say the all loving dimension of the Akashic records. So most often when Edgar Cayce was giving a reading, he would begin, as with a statement such as something like, "Yes, we have before us the records of the entity now known or called as." So he always mentioned that right away when he was doing a reading for someone. And he would say, actually, you know what? Let me actually share this with you. I think this is really fascinating what he said. And Mindy, this might be something you know and maybe not, but it's really fascinating stuff. He says, "I see myself as a tiny dot out of my physical body," right? So this is when he's doing a reading for someone. "I find myself, it's almost like in a conscious white beam of light. And as this tiny dot, I move upward, following the light, knowing that I must follow it or I will be lost. As I move along this path of light, I become conscious of various levels upon which there is movement. There is change, and I become conscious of all of these different forms moving downward. Gradually, these forms become lighter in color. Then the direction changes and these forms move upward, and the color of their robes grows rapidly lighter. Now there is this almost these vague kind of outlines of houses and walls and trees, but everything is still. Everything is motionless. And as I pass on, there is more light and movement in what appears to be normal cities and towns. And with the growth of this movement, I become conscious of sounds. At first, indistinct rumblings, then music, then laughter, and then singing of birds. There is more and more light now, and the colors are becoming very beautiful. And now there is the sound of wonderful music filling the space. The houses are left behind, and now there's only a blending of sound and color. Quite suddenly, I come upon this hall of records. It's a hall without walls, without ceiling, but I am conscious of seeing an old man who hands me a very large book, a record of the individual for whom I seek information." So, what happens next? So, when Cayce receives this record, he had the ability to select the information. Again, Lords of the Records decide what he can and can't see. And then he's able to select from there the information which would be most capable of assisting that person at the time. And, oftentimes this was something really profound to the people he was doing readings for. It was transformative. They would learn things they would never, ever have expected before. And so he was very specific on making sure that we understood that this is the universe's kind of database, right? This is where we go in order to get all of the information from our soul's records and, honestly, of all time. So, in this very moment, kind of painting a little bit of a picture, this is being recorded in the records, right? This moment in time, us together, is being recorded in the records, and this next moment and the next moment. And so it's constantly being recorded. So that means we can always go back, right, to these moments in the records. So it's very interesting and very cool. And there's so many things you can do. But let's see if there's any questions so far. So, Amanda, yes, yes. Isn't it fascinating? I don't know if you can tell, but I'm obviously thrilled when I talk about it because I just love it. It's so cool. So let me see here. Yes. Oh, good, Julia. I'm glad to hear you read his book. And let's see here. Always open to new info. Excellent. I know it's like, the more that we learn, the more we discover. I know that was posted in this week in our little discussion forum. Love that. Wow. Oh, like the doorway that souls enter and exit through. Yes, yes. Excellent. Good. So now let's talk about how do we access the Akashic records, right? Let's talk about that. That's the most exciting stuff right here. So how do we do this? Okay, I'm going to give you a couple different ways you can access the records. One, through hypnosis, which I did not mention, but that's how Edgar Cayce usually anyway access the Akashic records. But it can be a lot of work to get there, right? For most people, if they're using hypnosis, because not to complicate this too much, but when we are moving from this dimension, we're in the third dimension right now, we have to move from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. And the fourth dimension is kind of the astral realm, right? It's like the in-between realm. And we have to move from here, third dimension, through the astral realm into the fifth dimension. So it does take a little bit of, I wouldn't say it like a push, but it does take a little bit of time to practice. And hypnosis can get you there, but often we get stuck in the subconscious, which is what Edgar Cayce was talking about, right? And our subconscious does exist within this fourth dimension. So we can access memories, our history, past lives, things of that nature within this realm. But we can't access the deeper, we'll say that the deeper aspects of your soul's agreement, like your purpose, right? And why you are doing what you're doing, and maybe some other unconscious things that you might not remember. So, coming back to that, one way is hypnosis. So, it is 100% possible if you work with the right person or if you happen to have the right hypnotic trance, but that's one way. Number two, meditation. So you can access the Akashic records through meditation. But because of our own natural blocks to our subconscious mind, as you might imagine, right? For those of you who have sat in meditation for, let's say, 20 or 30 minutes or more at a time, you might notice, oh, there's some blocks here, right? I'm not really getting anything, or my mind is just going off into different directions. So we do have a hard time reaching that fifth dimensional state with just meditation, unless you're an avid meditator, right? And you happen to have these incredible psychic abilities that take you there, which that's wonderful, right? But that doesn't seem super accessible. But just know meditation is one way. So the third way is through a prayer process. Now, this is a great intentional way to access your Akashic records. It's a specific, and it has a certain vibrational frequency to it. And that's what allows the entry to the Akashic records. But similar to these other, ways of going into the records, just like hypnosis or meditation, you might get stuck because it depends on your state of mind and what vibrational level you're at in the moment before we dive deep into it. So here's what I do. So, to make it much easier to access the Akashic records, I created this Akashic records integration process. And it uses certain brainwave frequencies, which is a meditation, but it connects to those alpha and theta waves, which really help us settle the mind. We need to settle our mind first. So we use these brainwave frequencies, and then of course it's calming, right? It's relaxing, and that's the meditation we do. And then we have a very specific vibrational prayer process that takes us the I'll say 50% of the way. So that's it. Just that alone. And then you enter the Akashic records. Now, of course, practice, practice never makes perfect, but practice helps, right? It really helps you to build, we'll say, confidence, right? It helps you really understand who you are. So this is what it's all about, right? Is having a method, sticking to it, practicing it, and then you become skilled at that. So if you are interested in learning more, so if you think of it this way, we have to have a community, right, of other people to help us. So I've noticed that Akashic Records experiences tend to be more profound when we're practicing together. Now, you might imagine why, right? It's because all of our energies are culminating in one space together, and we're all using this very powerful intentional prayer. So that whole space now is being completely, it's like it's being ascended upwards with you. So now you are deeply connecting with your higher self and with everyone else in the room. And it's incredible. And we can still do this online as well. But I do encourage, of course, if you're not already active in our community here, that helps just to get to know other people who are on the like-minded journey. But if you are interested specifically in either a reading, or if you just want to understand how do I go into my Akashic records, and you want, to try this process and this prayer process, then let me know. I do have some offerings through One Awakening, which is the community, really. That's where this all came from. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments and I'll reach out to you and I can give you some more information about what that looks like, because that is a training program. Because naturally I could hand over the prayer and say, okay, go for it, and you're not going to get very far, unfortunately, because there is a certain way of understanding how to do this, right? You have to do this with those who are already doing it, and also in a way that feels most authentic for you. And that takes time and also help to figure out. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. But in the meantime, I do have that free Akashic Records healing meditation. If you have not received that, please let me know, because I will send that to you. And what this is it allows you to go into the records without having the prayer, because I've already said the prayer and used this very specific technique before I actually recorded the meditation. So you can just go in and you can have a healing experience with that. So please do let me know if you have not received that yet. I will send that over. You can have a chance to check it out. And if you want to learn more, let me know and I'm happy to help. So, as a reminder to all of you, every single week, I'm going live on the Akashic Records for the month of May. So stay tuned. We're going to build up. It's kind of like a mini workshop, we'll call it, right? Every month, we're going to build up on what we learned week by week. And so anyone who's watching the replay right now, please stay, as in tune as you can with our live trainings, if it's possible for you. And also, for those of you who have not already acted on this, I offer a free 10 to 15 minute coaching call. And this is for every new person in the group. And basically, what this is I'm getting on a call with you to figure out what is keeping you stuck, what transformational tools do you need to go forward, and then I will give you some free tools to help. So that's what I offer as a part of our community. So if you haven't already set that up with me, please let me know in the comments. Yes, I would like a call. Yes, I'd like, a free coaching call, or just however you want to frame that, but not just yes, because I might get confused that you're saying yes to, yes, I want to learn about the Akashic Records training. So let me know specifically what it is you're interested in, and I'm happy to help. And let's see, any questions so far? Let's see. Awesome. Everyone, let's see, haven't received that. Oh, Karen, hi. Everyone on Facebook is looking for you. I posted this link on your Facebook page. Oh my goodness, thank you. I wonder why it's not showing. I know sometimes if you don't refresh your browser when you're on Facebook, I wonder if that's what it is. Then it looks like I'm not there. So you have to keep refreshing in order for it to show up. So I'm not sure if that's right, but thank you so much, Karen. That's amazing. Thank you for your help with that. And oh, awesome, Amber. Wonderful. Thank you for letting me know. And it's not streaming. Let's see here. Can I just check in with everybody? Are you on Facebook? And are you able to see and hear me? I just want to make sure, because it says that I'm streaming to Facebook and it looks like I'm streaming to Facebook. So I do want to double check. If you can let me know, yes, I can see you. I'm on Facebook, just to make sure. Let me see here. It looks like I am. Okay, so Karen, for some reason, it looks like it's working on my end. So I do apologize. I'm not sure what's going on, but I see myself live, so to speak. Yeah, I can see myself. And everyone's saying, yes, they can see me. Okay, you can see me from Facebook. Okay, thank you. So it might be, I wonder if it's a Facebook glitch, Karen. So thank you for letting me know about that. But I think it might be a glitch or a technical error potentially, because I'm getting a lot of people saying they're accessing it from Facebook, and I can see their Facebook link. So yeah, that's really odd. I'm also streaming to YouTube. So no, no worries, Karen. Thank you for letting me know. No, I really do appreciate it, because honestly, I can't see what's going on over there. I can really just see myself. So I can now see your comments, Susan. So thank you for letting me know, but I could not see your comments before. I think it was showing up as Facebook user, potentially. So, but good. Yay, we made it. I was going to say, I really hope I didn't just go through this and none of it was recorded. that would not be fun. But then I figured if everyone else is seeing me, then that makes more sense. So you know what, Amanda, that makes sense. I hear this all the time, unfortunately, with Facebook. There's always some technical glitch happening. So we just kind of have to, yeah, that's why I like StreamYard. Often this is like, nothing's foolproof, right? But this definitely helps a lot. So hello. Well, good to see you all. And, I definitely want to make sure I answer your questions before we jump off today. So did you have any questions for me just about the Akashic Records, about, the next few weeks and what we're going to be talking about? Just let me know here in the comments and I'll be happy to chat with you more about that. And other than that, I guess one thing that I want to leave you with, if for those of you maybe who just jumped on as well, but if you have not tried that Akashic Records healing audio, please do let me know. And let me know saying something like, I didn't get the audio, or something like that. I didn't actually see the meditation, just to let me know so I can actually, let's see here, I can send that over to you. Okay. So I think there's a couple of you who did not actually see that. Okay, I will send that to you. So that's no problem. And I think we have another question. How do you know when you're in tune with them? So Susan, if I have it right, is it in tune with the Akashic Records? So I'm going to answer the question from there. Let me know. And I will also send you the audio. So yes, absolutely. And let's see here. So how do you know when you're in tune with the Akashic Records? Great question. So I think that's what your question is. Let me know. So how do you know when you're in the Akashic Records? You know you're in the Akashic Records when, so I'm going to give you some tips here. At least I'll show you or tell you what my experience is. My experience is I tend to feel a lot happening in my body. I tend to feel pretty somatically anyway, but I tend to feel like I'm rising up, almost like I am ascending. And I feel this heat come over. It's almost like a hot flash, right? And you might think, well, that's not very pleasant, but it's a very quick, and it's not really that unpleasant. It's okay. It's kind of my sign. I know I'm going into the Akashic Records, and I feel like I'm ascending. I get a little lightheaded as well, and I just naturally get lightheaded. So I think that's just a sign for me that I'm rising up. And so some other people might feel something like, they might start to hear things, or they might see things visually in the records. Some other people, might actually start to feel tingling or a cool sensation. So every single person is different. Every person's different. But I can tell you that over time, you start to find your signature way of knowing how you're in the Akashic Records. And at first you will question yourself. And I honestly feel like that's the most important part of a community, is that without a community, we wonder, right? Is this information accurate? Am I on the right track? Am I doing the right thing here? So all of that's really common. And when you have a community for support, then absolutely this makes a huge difference. So yes. Hi, Lisa. So I think maybe you were the one trying to come on here. So hi, good to see you. And hopefully everyone else has made it on okay as well. So excellent, but great question there. Thank you so much, Susan. And Amber, can you find out why certain things are going on in your life and why you always seem to be getting tested, or like someone is trying to keep you down? Yes, absolutely you can. So what I love about this too, for those of you who have studied like twin flames, soulmates, things of that nature, as well as we're talking about relationships, you get to find out, right? Is this person, how is this person connected? How is this family member, right? Did I have a past life with this family member? It can be really, really fascinating. And so the whole idea of the Akashic Records is for healing. So when you go into, and of course, transformation, transcendence of ego identity as well. But when you go into the Akashic records, you are going in with this intention of, so for example, Amber, you would go in with the intention of, why does it feel like I'm always getting tested, right? What is that about? Right? And there is a way to frame these questions too, to make sure you get the best answers. But it's something like, why is this happening? What's happening in this, in my experience? And you might even say, I've had XYZ happen, and this is why I'm questioning it. So the more specific we can be, the more specific the answer we get. And you absolutely will get that answer. So, oh, yes, I hope that helps, Amber. I know that it's tough, but I know that 100% know that the Akashic records can help. It's helped me, it's helped my students, it's helped my clients. It's been incredible. So let me see here. Last few times I meditated, I see flickering of lights and colors. Yes, that does make sense. So, however, that does not mean you're in the Akashic records. But it does mean that you have these, potentially anyway, these, let's say, clairvoyant abilities, maybe. And so you could be accessing, maybe even the fourth dimension, the astral realm. And so these things can happen, but you will typically, another sign that you'll know you're in the Akashic records, and this happens over time, I tend to feel a lot of love, right? Because we're in the fifth dimensional space of love. And I just feel like compassion and love. I just want to hug everybody, just like, oh my gosh. And that's how, and I kind of feel like that anyway. But when I'm in the fifth dimension, and that moment when I'm there, I'm just, gosh, it just takes over me. And after I'm out of the records, I just need to sit for a while and just kind of simmer in it and simmer in that sense of love and peace. And I usually want to sit in nature and just soak it in. So there's kind of this different energy quality to being in the records as well. So it would be different than a meditation. You likely would feel, well, of course, you could feel relaxed with both, but you likely feel a little bit different in the Akashic records. So yes, Sophia, I would love to get you that audio. Absolutely. Absolutely. I will do that. So I'm going to send each and every one of you that requested the audio, I'm going to send that to you through Facebook Messenger. If you are not, by the way, on Facebook Messenger, and I know I've been telling people DM me, right? And that's direct message. So if I have not been in contact with you, or if you have not been in contact with me, please reach out. That's where I will send these, because it's easier to upload them there. So let's see here. Oh, good, Karen. Thank you for letting me know. It looks like, Chrome. So for those of you in the future, sounds like Chrome is a way better platform to join live on. Awesome. 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 Thank you so much, everyone. It was just so nice to connect with you, and just, I can just feel the community right now. So you can see why I love being live so much, right? Because now I can actually see and connect with each and every one of you. So I hope all of you have a wonderful Tuesday evening, or whichever time it is where you are. And I will see all of you next Tuesday. We're going to continue this momentum on the Akashic records. So put it in your calendar, make it a priority for you, because you deserve it. And I love it, Susan. Thank you. I'm always stalking your page. It's wonderful. Yay! That's good. So I'm just really excited to continue this journey with each and every one of you. And of course, please ask questions. And one thing too, if you wouldn't mind, as you're going through the discussion and looking up all the different comments and seeing what everyone else is posting, just get in there, ask questions, talk to people. Everyone here is on the same journey you're on. We are all on the spiritual awakening journey. And so you're going to find friends here. You're going to really connect with people that are just like-minded and are on the same path as you. So please connect, please reach out, know you're not alone, and know that I'm here for you as well. So thank you, Amber. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julia. Thank you to all of you for showing up and being here. I send so much love to all of you, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care. Namaste. Bye-bye, everyone.